Okay, you are live.
Hello.
What can I say?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pamela, for joining today.
Actually, looking forward to that.
Let me just reduce this. Hello, everyone. Hello. And thank you for joining us today. My name is Hannah Ekong, and I am the mom on Ruphi Curl Chronicles. So I'm the one you've been seeing my hands making their hair. And yes, I'm the one who's a qualified cosmetologist. I trained in Lagos many years ago now, about 20 something years ago. I trained in Lagos. So when I moved here to the UK, I started sort of braiding people's hair. I was doing weave on. I was wigs, but I didn't really like that. I just loved braids and I loved Ghana weave.
Well, I think wigs weren't really in at that time.
Yes,
So that's something to
yes,
take note of. You
yes.
probably would have been doing it, perhaps,
Yeah,
with
if
the
it was
times.
in at
Yeah.
the time. And even up till now, I know sometimes we wear wigs, maybe I less so. I less so. But
Okay.
when I put it on, I just feel that like, oh, this is
I am
not my
actually like you.
hair.
I'm actually like you.
Yeah, like
I really do not enjoy wearing wigs.
wearing
It's,
wigs.
I think one of my fears was always, would it fall off? I really don't care how tight, how fixed it is. It's beautiful, but
Yeah.
I always get uncomfortable easily.
Yes.
But I wear them if I
And I'm
have to.
so conscious
Oh,
of
yeah.
myself as
Yes.
well.
Or when people hug me, I always feel, don't pull the hair, don't pull the hair,
Don't
pull the
don't
hair.
touch, especially the
Because
kids.
yes.
And they say, "Mommy, this is your hair." Like, yes, it's my hair. I bought it.
Yes.
So yes, welcome everyone. So yeah, Pamela, today, as you know, we're going to be talking about your story. And as we explore your story, I'm going to be seeing if I can help, sort of you in terms of the hair consultation, as well as help everyone out there to see how we can love our hair as natural girls.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
I
Hannah.
know, I
I'm
know.
here, so
Yeah,
actually
because
looking
I
forward to
still
it.
can't believe that a 10-year-old will achieve this type of hair. I
You
never
won't.
dreamt of it when I was growing up.
I think when my daughter saw your daughter's hair, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" She's like, "Mom." I mean, she's been telling me and she's been talking about it, but I think being up close
Yes.
and having your friends and seeing your friend's hair
Hair,
do so
yes.
well, she's probably thinking, "Mommy, what are you doing?"
What have you done?
But
Absolutely.
it's interesting because I had natural hair up until I was probably 14 or 15.
Yeah, about the
The
same
bulk
for
of
me.
the bulk of through secondary school, back because I schooled in Nigeria, secondary
Yeah.
school, and a lot of my friends had already permed their hair.
Yes.
So I was one of the very last
Me
ones.
too.
And they would come and they would do tread on my hair and stuff. And you can imagine on Saturdays, I could see people packing their hair, slicking it back. They would have gel, was it pink oil or something? They
Yeah,
would put
pink oil. I
and
lost
all of
this
that.
pink oil.
Lost
That
pink
was the
oil.
one.
And there was all of that they would have. To be fair, I really did enjoy my hair. And my hair was very thick.
Wow.
Very thick,
Awesome.
very thick, very long. And people would say to me, "Oh my God, when you relax this hair, you would be," and all of that. But that wasn't the case. I don't know what happened. But when they relaxed the hair eventually, to chopped or whatever. But yeah, then obviously moving into the UK, coming in here, having lots of braids on your hair. I actually love braids. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I could do braids. I think it was only at a point in time my husband complained. And when he said to me, he's like, "Don't you see people have some nice hair and stuff like that?" So I think that's when I started venturing. And I did like having weaves. I could do weaves and all of that. But it's just that ease of being able to have your hair be on the move. So for someone like me, I'm very, I wouldn't say very natural, but I just like ease. Very simple. And you can see that. And I probably didn't care for my hair as much as I would have because maybe I just thought I was blessed with it and I was just doing minimal and it was fine. It worked for a very long time until recently when it started cutting. And of course, I'm not caring that much for it. And I'm thinking, what's going on? And I'm thinking it's because I'm getting older and I'm getting worried, like, I don't want to be that person without
without hair.
You say that again.
So interesting. You talk about being on the go.
Yes.
And I find that that's certainly one of the biggest reasons why I and a lot of ladies out there, it's so easy to have like a wig or a weave or have braids, because you want good hair immediately.
Of course.
You don't want to have to wait for good hair. And unfortunately, with natural hair, unless you've had a process
Yes.
of caring for it and in the hair, you're not going to have good hair just by waking up.
I always felt that it's a lot of work to put into it. So when I see people with natural, lovely hair, I mean, I am very impressed, but I'm always thinking, can I do it? Can I be consistent at it? Yeah. It looks like a lot of work. It looks like if you're not consistent, but in anything in life, if you're not consistent, what happens? But I feel there's a lot of work that goes into it. And if I think about my daughter also, because her hair is, I don't even know. I think I've damaged the hair pattern.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But, yes.
But we'll have our second hair consultation. Not a YouTube live, I'm afraid. And I will take a look at the hair. But yeah.
The hair needs a lot of care.
Yes.
Which I haven't been able to. I'm trying, but I just feel I'm not getting it right, or I'm not doing something right, because I'm also seeing other people, even as adults. I'm seeing adults, I'm seeing children, I'm seeing lovely hair. A lot of natural hair has come on the scene lately, and beautiful, really, really nice looking hair, even from all the styles that people have. To me, I always feel, can I keep that? It feels like if I do it today, it will probably be undone by 3 days or 4 days, or I have to really keep it. Like when you see them when they wrap it, they pin it. It looks really, really nice, but I always feel, can I do that?
I think one of the biggest, which I said to you on Sunday when I saw you, I think one of the biggest things is that when we have our hair in braids or in twists, or even in the Ken Rose or the Ghana hair, one of the things that we forget to do, and I'm certainly guilty of that, especially for the first 30 years or so of my life, is that we forget about it.
Oh, yeah.
We forget that our hair is wrapped. It's called a protective style after all. Our hair is wrapped somewhere inside that hair. And so I was saying to you on Sunday that the first thing that needs to be happening to hair, even if we have it in cornrows or we have it in Ghana weave, is that we absolutely must moisturize.
That was your word.
Moisture. If you take anything away today, it must be moisture. Our hair, especially because most of us coming from Nigeria, we have 4B and 4C hair.
Okay. Yes. I don't know what 4B and 4C is, but hey.
Okay. So
I'm a novice.
There's something called the hair types.
All right.
And various people have done various hair types, and they've qualified the hair types. So there is the lowest hair type, but the most well known is the Aiden, I can't remember now, Walker hair type. So that's the one you'd have heard of, where people say 1A, 2A, 2B, 2B, 3A, 3B, 3C, up until you get to these ones. So these ones are our own hair.
Okay.
Mostly, this is where we come in, where we have the tighter curls, the really tight curls, where if our hair was sort of left for a few days or a few weeks without doing anything, it looks like a whole mush, a whole mop. It looks, sort of there. You can't even see our curls. You can't see our curls. However, as you keep taking care of the hair, as you keep moisturizing it, you can manipulate the hair in such a way that if it falls a little bit more, then you can sort of see your curl pattern, and you can also test for your curl pattern, which I will do the next time we'll see. I will also test.
Perfect. It's actually interesting because when you mentioned those numbers, I thought there were colors you were talking about. So I didn't know there were types. I'm sure a lot of people would probably think the same thing, because we've gone through so many colors, like 4A, 1A, all of that. So, but it's good to know that the types, and it varies, and then once you know your types, it helps you to care for it.
It definitely does. Other things that help your hair is the porosity. The
Okay.
porosity of the hair, knowing how porous your hair is. Porosity is how much water your hair can take.
All right.
Yeah, so whether when you get there and you want to wash your hair, if you just pour water on it, does the hair just soak in the water straight away? Not really, not for most of us. It takes a while for that water to get in.
Right.
And knowing how porous our hair is also means that we know what we use on our hair.
Mm.
And that means that if our hair is not as porous, it means that we need some thicker creams, some thicker oils. So that's why a lot of times you hear people recommend for us shea butter, which is part of the key ingredients that we use in our moisturizer that we make with the girls.
Right.
You know, they make their moisturizer. We use shea butter. There's jojoba oil, and you know, you can mix that in with some coconut oil because it helps. Another thing that's very good is the castor oil.
Okay.
I don't have it now, but I mainly use the Jamaican black castor oil because it's a very thick oil. It's a very thick oil, and it just helps sort of lay the hair down. One of the biggest things I haven't done with the girls, I haven't put any gel on their hair.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Not even edge controls.
Not even edge control, never. Because a combination of moisturizer and the leave-in conditioner lays the hair just fine. Because the reason why we need a lot of edge control is the dryness in the hair. So you feel that the hair is so dry and needs that gel to sort of lay it down. But if you get enough into the hair, you know, such that it actually gets enough sort of water and enough moisture, then it lays down by itself.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what happens. So for Nifes, if you start using the moisturizer and the leave-in conditioner and you do that for about 4 days straight, and I will ask you,
Okay.
you will see how it starts to lay down. The curls are not coming up like that out of the cornrows. They start to lay down a little bit. They feel relaxed. They feel like, you know, we're finally getting what we need. You know?
I'm actually looking forward to that, and especially with the holiday season coming. So, which means her hair would be out. So I guess it give me that time to care for the hair.
Yeah.
But when you were talking about even porosity, I think so. Is that why we've seen a lot of water cans that have come in lately? Whereby because we hear so much about just spray on your hair.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how people mix it. Some people mix water and other things, but you just use the water.
So I'll explain about the water. One of the biggest things about the water is that when we touch our hair dry, it breaks the hair. That absolutely breaks the hair. So I use oils or water, as you said. If you want to take out your braids, for instance, a great way to ensure that your hair doesn't break is to spray it first, or at least have oil in your hands so the hair doesn't feel like it's been harassed. You know, so when we touch our hair with dry fingers, it's almost like you're using your hair to oil your hands. Instead of using whatever moisture you have on your hands to actually oil the hair, you know. Another thing about moisture is that you don't want to be washing or shampooing or conditioning your hair when you're not ready.
Right.
When you're not ready, because as you said, our hair is just that little bit stressful to take care of. So if you're not in the right mood, or you're not, you know, in the right place, or you're just not feeling it on that day, I would say don't do that. If you really have to do something, just moisturize it. Just moisturize it. Maybe you want to spray a little bit of water. You want to put a bit of moisturizer, Cantu leave-in. Also, on one of the Ruphi Curl Chronicles video, Ruel also talks about a conditioning spray. So a combination of conditioning spray and a spray oil. Nifa can do that herself.
Right.
Nifa can do that herself.
Oh, gladly.
Yeah. I don't know if you've shown her Ruel's video.
She has seen Ruel's
Yeah.
video, and that's also been the whole push of saying, Mom, what's happening to my hair? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
and it's so easy. It's so easy. Another big thing as well, which I want to share because I just remember it from Fee's video, is that the scarfing. The kids need to learn how to scarf their hair because it keeps moisture in. It's all about the moisture. It locks it in. Moisture. It locks it in. They just how they have. Obviously, if they have big braids, and they need the satin bonnets, you know, on their hair to get through the big braids when they sleep at night. Because one of the things that happens is that most of us use a cotton cotton pillowcases.
Yes.
And the cotton pillowcases takes out all the, it's like we're moisturizing our pillowcase. So I'll tell you, the way that I get by is that I don't like to wear a scarf on my hair or anything because I have a cut.
Right.
So the way that I get by is I actually have a satin pillowcase.
Okay.
I actually have it. So instead of a satin scarf, you can actually use a satin pillowcase.
Can you use both?
You could use both, but because it's not breathable, you might start to sweat. I don't know. I probably would. It'll be too much for me. Yeah, it'll be too. But if you know, if you could stand it, if you could stand it, then maybe. But I hear you. I hear you. Okay, what else did we want to talk about? How do you think your own hair journey has actually influenced your daughter's hair care routine? And what is that hair care routine? What's her hair care routine?
Do we have one? Well, we do have one, but it's probably not as consistent. But my journey, if you recall, I did say, I think because I didn't put in so much effort and that much care in. I think I had very lovely hair, very up until, I think it was only 2 years or a year and a half now that I started struggling. And that was actually because I had braided my hair. I think I can't remember all the years. I left it in for too long, working out, all of that. And when I had to take it out, it was all gonged up. All gonged up. So the bulk of it was chopped up. I had to chop it off. Yeah. But my journey really, I think obviously, you can't give what you don't have, right? So that would also have an impact on how I have cared for my daughter's hair. So coming from me, who didn't do too much care or had good hair, and then now with her, who I don't think she's ever really had great hair from start, and then you have all of those whereby somebody says chop it all off and start again, or however, and I'm thinking chop it off.
We used to say that a lot growing up, didn't they?
Yeah. And I'm thinking, this thing doesn't look like it's doing that great. Yeah, why do I need to chop it off? No, I'm gonna just try and see where we get on with this. So, but one of the things also is that I know she doesn't really like. She still cries a great. I mean, she's 8, but she still cries a great deal when she gets her hair done. So what we just found out was like putting her hair in braids was the quickest way. She loves all the styles. She wants to weave it. She wants all, and I'm like, you can't sit for it. So I'm always just like, just braid the hair and let's get going. So obviously, me not caring so much for my hair as such has also had that impact on her. And all of that. In fact, I'll tell you a little secret. I think there was a time I was really, really.
Are you happy to tell the world?
I could share this. I could share this. It was one of my fears, and I was always praying to have another child, but I would secretly say, "Oh Lord, please, I don't want to have a girl." Yeah. Not because of anything. Yeah. I just used to think of the stress of caring for that hair, and I'm thinking, thank God I really have a son and a daughter. So I'm thinking, I don't think I want to do this, going to salons or I have to hold her doing the hair. Yeah. It's stressful. Yeah. So I think my hair journey, obviously, like I said, probably would have had impact on her. So now I just try to once we wash the hair, even for her to dry, like when we want to dry, it's just, I think the hair is very kinky and I just don't know how to manage it so well. And then of course, not being consistent. So you hear someone would say, do this, do this, do this. And then you go try it a little bit today and then you leave it. Yeah. Then you're coming back maybe 5 months later and trying to wonder like, this is not working, or you slap on everything you can find, whatever, but you bung it all up and you're hoping for a miracle. And so I think that's kind of how it's evolved. Yeah. But now, of course, I'm looking for more consistency. I may not be able to do it, say, but maybe every 4, 6 weeks, or we just have to manage it. Yes, absolutely. Make time if it's important. Then we'll make time out.
I think one thing to share with you out of what you've just said is being able to actually manipulate the hair while. I don't know how much you know about that. So I don't know if a lot of people out there know that you're not supposed to really manipulate our hair when it's at its driest. That's also part of the reason why you have oil on your hands, or you have water that you spray on it before you do anything with the hair. It's along the same sort of concept. So for instance, if you've just finished washing the hair, which by the way, we use conditioners to wash the hair, and this is the conditioner we use to wash the hair. So for 10 years, this hair has only ever been washed with this.
Wow.
Nothing else. One day, He's behind the scenes. I try to give my husband another conditioner to wash the hair. He goes, no, 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 this is not happening. No, I'm not washing this hair. Can you go and get me Cantu?
Right.
Because it feels a lot like a shampoo.
Okay. And that's probably because that's what's worked, right?
It's worked. But also what is happening is that scientifically, it's not raising the pH level of the hair. So what happens when we use hair shampoos, or if I go a bit higher, when we use relaxers or when we use hair dyes on our hair, is that it raises the pH level of the hair significantly.
Okay.
And sometimes that pH level doesn't come down enough for it to thrive. So what happens is that if your hair feels that the products that you're using is maintaining that pH level, then it thrives. So that's one of the things to think. That's the reason. So it's possible for people that are using shampoos out there and their hair's thriving. You just want to check how mild the shampoo is, you know. And actually, if it cleans the hair, so that's another thing. This cleans the hair. There's no reason to use anything else, and that's why, you know, we've continued with it. So manipulating the hair when it's wet. You want to manipulate it when it's wet. So I will be showing on Sunday, as you asked, for the co-wash, the entire co-wash routine. So look out for that. We'll be doing that on Sunday. When the hair is wet, that's when you want to put in your moisturizer and you want to put in more of your leave-in conditioner into the hair. And that's the only time in the month that we comb the hair.
Okay.
So unlike my hair when I was growing up that used to break combs,
Oh dear me.
Oh my, just thinking about it's traumatic.
It's traumatic. Hair days wasn't
Fun
you didn't look for them. You didn't look forward to them, did you? So,
No, we didn't look forward to them at all. Unlike my hair that used to break combs, now I say to the girls, your hair is like butter. It's like butter. And I'm sitting there combing their hair and I'm the one admiring. I'm like, I wish I had this when I was growing up.
You must be very proud.
I absolutely am. Thank you so much.
You've done a great job. So.
Thank you. Because they're combing and I'm thinking, whoa, your hair is like butter.
Lush.
It's lush, exactly, absolutely lush. Because it's been moisturized. The warts from the water getting into it, and then the leave-in conditioner being used to wash, and then some moisturizer going in, a bit of oil and a bit of leave-in conditioner. By the time, and then again, not starting from those roots. Okay. Not starting from those roots, we're coming from the tips. We're coming from and working our way down, up till we get to the roots, and then we go full on. So yeah, that's it. Absolutely.
These are all very helpful tips actually, because sometimes you kind of like you think you're starting from the bottom to get it going.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the reason I said don't do it on a day when you don't have time. So for instance, last week I kind of contemplated, I told you this.
Yes.
I contemplated doing their hair, but I was too tired.
And you just thought,
so then no, I'm just going to leave it. Their hair will be fine that way. You know, and their hair will thank you for not doing it on a day. So, did you know the natural hair could grow to hip length? Growing up, did you contemplate that our natural hair could go all the way to our hips?
Growing up was a no-no. It felt like that's not for us, right? And if at all you were lucky, it would probably be if you're from the northern part of Nigeria.
Yes, the Fulani.
Yes, then they made us feel like they had, and I used to wonder that, you know, how, but for us, it was almost a no-no. Yes. I mean, the average person, if you're lucky, you'll probably get, if you're, you know, you could see maybe sort of and that's
rare.
You know, you're looking at them and thinking, and maybe people from the eastern part of Nigeria.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So for me, to be very fair, I didn't think it could go to hip. No. And I also just felt it was more like where you're from. You know, it was more like genetics and all that. You have all of that. Yeah. So no, I didn't think so. Of course, lately we start to see natural hair and you're thinking, this hair's doing really great. Did they do something extra? Did they do
What are they doing?
What are they doing? And
What
is
are
it
they
just
doing?
products? And is it just really for African hair?
Yeah.
For our kinky hair? Like, yeah.
That's definitely a great point, Pamela, because a lot of people say, what are they doing? We never sort of think that what are we doing consistently? We don't bring it back to us. Well, what if we one or two things? It's about a whole hair care routine. It's about a whole world. The same way we moisturize our skins, the same way we take care of ourselves in a certain way, our hair deserves
that care.
That kind of care as
that care.
That kind of care as well. Our hair deserves that kind of care as well. You know. So that's the thing about it, the hair care routine and what we do. You had something?
No, I'm just thinking it through. You know, I mean, we've highlighted so much inconsistency. I think it falls back to that being consistent.
Absolutely.
And of course, you're like I said at the start is you can't give what you don't have. So if you're not going to do it, if you're not going to put in that effort. Then that's where we miss out.
What about the natural hair salons? Have you tried a natural hair salon?
Do they have natural hair salons?
There are a few out there.
I didn't know.
There are a few. I've been tempted to set up one. There are a few out there.
So go for it, because you're trying. You're actually what you're doing is great. So
we'll see. The girls haven't been to a salon yet.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I'm actually. She's doing something so right because wow.
Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to mention a few factors, some of which we've already talked about, natural hair, and ask you if you've ever heard of it before today. So I'll start from the ones we've already talked about. So before today, had you heard about the hair types?
No, I probably imagined people have different hair types, but I've never heard that there is this. And of course, when you mention it, the first thing that's coming to mind is colors.
Colors, yeah.
But then you have a whole chat, and I'm thinking, okay, this is. Yeah.
Had you heard about the porosity of the hair?
I think I've heard about porosity, but I hadn't digged into it, and that's why when you said what came to mind first was the water cans.
Yes.
Because it wasn't that wasn't around our time.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, the average African hair or person has water cans. Whether they're using it or know what to do with it is a different. But we just have it and you just pum and just yes.
Yeah.
So I would have said I heard so much about porosity.
Yeah. Had you heard about this one? I'm sure you'd have heard about the density of the hair.
Can I be honest? No.
Well, that's quite interesting because I'll talk you through that a little bit. Because that would actually help to understand how our hair grows on our scalp. So basically, for density, there is thin, medium, and there is thick or coarse density. Now for the thin one, this is where you can almost see where the hair is growing. You can almost see. So you can see that there are spaces in between where the hair is growing out of the scalp. And I don't have the pictures here, but that would be a little bit like Afia's hair. You can see where her hair is growing out of her scalp. While the medium one is a little bit more sort of together. So mine probably medium because you can sort of see my scalp, but you can't, you can't see a lot of my scalp. Yeah. Now people who you can hardly see where the hair is growing out from, that's Ruel. You can hardly see where her hair is growing because you just see the hair. You just see the hair. You can hardly see where it's growing out from. And the fact that her hair is actually denser than Afia's hair, it doesn't mean that it cannot grow. Everybody's hair can still grow irrespective of how dense it is.
Right.
Irrespective of how dense it is. And so one of the things that I said in one of the videos about stretching, which I will repeat here, is if the scrunchies that I was using for their hair to actually stretch their hair, the scrunchies I was using for it, for the longest time, because Ruel's hair is so dense, for the longest time I was using a very thick scrunchie on her hair. But along comes Afia, and I noticed that those really thick scrunchies were breaking the hair because it's so fine. It was just breaking the hair. I'm thinking, but to the eyes, the hair is a bit similar. Then I had to study dye their hair separately. Even as a cosmetologist, I had to go and check what's the difference in this hair and why is this happening. And I then had to change the scrunchie I was using on the hair. And the same effect sometimes is the same effect that weaves have when we pull it so much. It's that same. If you remember when we were growing up, some people's hair could take the pulling.
Oh yeah.
Some people's hair, when you take it out, it just falls. It just falls off. It just falls off. And that's the reason why.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, combined with porosity, that's also why, if you remember, we used to say that some relaxers didn't work for you.
Oh yeah.
Some relaxers worked for you.
Yes.
It was a combination of the density and the porosity. Yeah.
Okay.
Because some people, the relaxer will work for them because it was taking the pH. If you remember when I talked about porosity, the pH level wasn't enough to actually cause the change in their hair, for the hair follicles to actually change to permed hair. While some people, it was fine because their hair is finer. So it was fine. Yeah, absolutely. Weather, did you know that the weather affects our hair?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, especially when you relocate from one country to
you
another.
can see the difference.
You hear all of that and you're wondering what's going on here.
Yeah.
And yes.
Yeah. Do you do anything different in the summer?
Probably during the winter times, I probably put my hair more into protective styles and ensure it's braided, or it's easier for me at that time.
To manage it at that
Just keep it
time.
well.
And now you just need to moisturize it. Okay. Washing with shampoos. Did you know that there was anything that could potentially...
Lately, I mean, you start to read and you start to see, like, maybe this is, let's say this is a cleansing shampoo, this is hydrating, or but just trying to remember on top of my head. So I can't really tell you which one's for which, but clarifying, if I remember, there's also clarifying shampoos or something.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And this is where you start to check and you start to say, which one do I want to put on my scalp? Yeah. While some people even use natural products out there, and they don't use the shampoo or conditioner or any of these things. They just use purely natural products on their hair. So maybe a bit more like what we've put in here, the oils, the chebe and the shea butter, those type of things. Combing often. Did you know that combing often was breaking our hair?
Yes. Yes. I mean, even just the thought about when you think about it. Yeah. As you're combing all the time, and you look at the comb, but you're saying, yes. So yes.
And combing it dry. So combing it often and combing it dry as well. Yeah. Nutrition. Did you know that nutrition was a big one?
I tease my daughter and say to her, you've got to have your proteins.
You've got to have your proteins because the hair is mainly made of protein. So you've got to have your proteins. Okay. And you've talked about protective styles. Yeah. So I know you know a lot about protective. What about protecting the tips? A lot of people don't know this. Protecting the tips. Yeah.
All we know is that we're protecting the hair.
Yeah. So that's a big one that a lot of people don't know about, protecting the tips.
Does that come with making, like, when you go for trims and stuff like that? Oh no, what is that to do?
So when people keep trimming your hair, you're not going to get your length. So that's another topic. That's another big topic on its own, where people just keep on trimming and trimming and trimming their, oh, your hair has got split ends, and they just take it and they just trim it. Protecting the ends is about, so for instance, the very tips of the hair, being able to actually protect it often, because the hair dries up from the tips to the roots. That's how the hair dries up.
Tips to the roots, okay.
So if you think about it, the tips get drier before the roots get dry. Yeah. So if you feel that during the week you don't quite have any need for those tips, you want to be putting it in. You want to be putting it in. What happens sometimes is that when I've wrapped the girl's hair up and the tips are out of the way, when we actually bring the tips down, you can see the tips are still moisturized. They're still moisturized. I mean, there's still moisture going through the hair. Absolutely. However, when they're in the holidays or something, when you leave the hair down, you can see how dry it gets. Okay. Because that's the part you're pulling, that's the part that is touching everything, that's the part that is all over the place, isn't it? Yeah. So if you're not careful with it, as much as you can be, it could break even from the tips, and then you will never get the length that you want as well. Because what I do at the end of the hair when I finish it, if we're not going to need it in the week, is that I wrap it round somehow and just protect those tips. And that's the same reason why you see some people, they'll wrap it in that way and just use a pin, just put it out of the way. Yeah. And just have that moisture sort of going through. there. What else? What else? What else? I think we have kind of like, I think we've covered letting the hair breathe. Let's take that as a final one. Letting the hair breathe. Did you know that we needed to just let our hair breathe?
Yeah. Give it a rest.
Just give it a rest.
Give it a rest. Yeah.
Do nothing. Do you know what it means to do nothing to the hair?
Not well. It would be not having anything. Not just giving it that break that it deserves. I guess the question probably would be how long. How long do you want to give it to rest? I mean, you can see I've just done. I'm kind of like rush or I'm tired. So lately I do my best to just make sure I just have it in. I mean, this is just what 4 flats.
In this protective
because I'll take it out probably to a treatment, leave it out for a little bit,
yes,
and I go back again and do that.
Yes.
So,
so you are taking care of your hair.
Trying. When I started seeing it dropping, yes, I had to put in some effort. Yes.
I hear you. So that's a very good one. What aspirations do you have for your hair and your daughter's hair?
I think for mine, but I think for both of us really, is just to make sure having good, healthy hair. And being able, I mean, she's at that stage, and which I'm really, really impressed and very proud of her, because I remember there was a time she always wanted her hair braided, and she would be talking about her long hair, and I'm thinking they're extensions, they're not your hair, or however. But now she's actually like, Mom, I don't want to use extensions anymore, and
that's beautiful.
So I'm really, really happy and super proud of that. So really my aspiration is just make sure we have good, healthy hair. That we can actually, I do not have to wear a wig or make sure, I mean, there's nothing wrong with wearing a wig. I do like it, but like I said, for me, it's just not comfortable.
Absolutely.
So I would love a stage where my hair is actually, I can be happy with it. In and out. I don't have to, if I've not done my hair or there's an event coming and I have to make sure the hair is done or I have to wear a wig. I want to get to the level whereby if I don't have any of that, I'm still okay to run. I'm still okay to step out. Same thing with
having our daughters proud of their hair, proud of their hair, and knowing how to take care of it.
Yes.
Not that we've done over the years, they know nothing, and then when we're not quite in the picture anymore, they don't know what to do with their hair. So they need to start learning. And I think for us, that's probably the biggest thing for us. Myself, Ru and Fee, Ruphi Curl Chronicles, we're out there to help every girl all over the world, every black girl, fall in love with their natural hair.
It's amazing.
Just fall in love with their hair and being able to love it, being able to take care of it, being able to wear it as a crown. Do you want to know one of the reasons why I cut my hair?
Pray tell.
One of the reasons why I cut my hair is that it was so regal. Every time I'll do a style, I look too regal. I didn't want to go everywhere looking so regal.
Wow.
Because our hair, because you know the different styles. When you have healthy, natural hair, you know the different styles our hair can go into. And I just felt I looked so I just wanted a style that I could rock.
Isn't it the same? Even when we go into the offices, they're always actually looking forward to our hair. You've changed your hair.
Your hair is the hair. It's all about the hair. Even when I haven't done anything with my face, I want my hair to look good. So did you know that for 2.5 years I haven't done anything else?
No.
Any braids, I haven't worn a wig, I haven't done a weave, I haven't done a cornrow. I've just
not even a wig.
Not even a wig.
Oh,
I've just loved my hair. Maybe once I've tried on a wig in my bedroom and I thought, nah.
It felt too foreign. Because you had gone on so long with it and you
so
actually
long.
loved it, so that's good. Yeah.
Maybe I'm too busy with the girls' hair. Every Christmas I keep saying, oh, maybe I'll do braids or something. I haven't gone around to it in this 2.5 years now.
Wow. Yeah, you've been loving and enjoying your own hair, so that's
So yeah. Thank you so much for coming, Pamela. I hope you've been able to take one or two things away. Do you want to maybe share 3 things that you're taking away with you today?
I think one of the key things is moisture. She said from the start. That's one thing we've really come to. And I've thought about porosity.
Yes.
So that's one thing I'm actually going to take out of here just to make sure, okay, that's really interesting for me to find out. And this mixture right here.
Yeah.
You have.
And I'm giving you one today. I'm giving you one today.
Check me
I'm giving you
I will feedback on it. I will
Awesome.
feedback on it.
Awesome,
So, yes.
awesome.
So maybe we'll close out with moisture.
Moisture,
You did hear
moisture.
that? So if
Definitely
take that
moisture.
away from here.
So African girls, girls in the UK, all over the world, I hope you're ready for lovely hair. Like, subscribe, hit that bell button, and just stay with us. Be part of our family as we grow this thing and as we help every natural girl out there to fall in love with their hair again. Thank you.
Thank you.